Okay, so invited Jay. I've sent you the speaker invite, so probably you can be in the speaker list as well.
Yeah. Okay. So meanwhile he joins. So I was getting some messages on my Twitter, and like it was probably 15 or 20 different people who wanted some kind of guidance, help. They want to listen. Now, so we thought maybe we can arrange something like this where we can show what we do, why we do it, and how can others get benefited out of it. So yeah, we can. So that was the pure intention here. So I think sometime back, so one of the important things why we came on Twitter was we were happily trading our way around for last few years. Me and Honest Trader, we have been we have been together for some time now, and we have been friends. When we started just like everyone else. Uh, we started as someone who will do a desk trading. Uh, like I have been part of a company called as a Future First, which was doing oil trading. That was long time back. Then I thought maybe we start something of our own. So so the first we were doing our desk trading, and what we felt is that before times are changing, and before we do any of our desk trading, we can't go further than this. So if we keep doing the same old way, so we invested a lot of our time on uh, creating a setup, creating a framework so that we can use automation. And now it looks like without automation, I would never ever be able to trade. And it gives you a peace of mind. It gives you some kind of scalability. It gives you discipline and all those things. But more than that, I think uh, we had a friend of ours who is part of Wealth Compounders, and uh, that friend was like it was 5 years back. Yeah, honestly, you want to say something?
No, I think you can go and DestinedMusk, please. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, that friend of ours, uh, like he was losing a lot of money at that time. So and last few years, couple of years, we actually turned it around. So and that person was almost on terms of some kind of breakdown, that he lost that much money, and he could not, like, it was really bad for him. But we went through a cycle. It took around 6 months to 9 months, and I think based on whatever we could help him with, he turned around, and now he's pretty profitable. So as
And
a
I think this is what aligns with whatever messages you got as well, right, on your timeline, DestinedMusk. I mean, the people
yeah,
who are seeking help. I mean, probably they are going through the same thing. I guess.
that's right. And so the point was, we keep on hearing that so many people lose money. And to be very fair, many a times I feel there are people who should not even trade. And it can be very crude, it can be very disheartening kind of a message. But if I believe that uh, like at certain times or at certain place, or that person is not really made for trading, that should be known to that person rather than losing money after money after money. It is important to understand if someone can actually gain something out of it or not. And if
So
someone can't, then yeah,
yeah, so I mean, when does a person actually decide like
that,
trading is not for him?
yeah. So first of all, I think it's very, very important that you set up a timeline for yourself. Say like 3 months, 6 months. When do you want to become profitable? Do you want to become profitable uh, immediately? Do you want to become profitable 1 year, 1 month, 1 year, few years? When do you want to become profitable? And if you set that deadline for yourself and you don't see any change in your habits, if you keep making, for example, one of the person I know is has been making continuous losses for last 8 months, lost more than 10 lakhs, and there has been no point of turning back. There's no point where things have he can see that things are turning around, uh, and that becomes a very clear sign that trading is not meant for that person. So it is very, very important for someone to figure that out. Is it meant for that person or not? And it's not about intelligence at all. Like we all keep talking about there are smart people in stock market. I don't believe so. I think if I wanted to do, if like I had a very good IQ, I would probably be a scientist or PhD somewhere, right? But I think trading is not about IQ, it's about EQ, which is people call it emotional quotient. And if you ask me, it's more than 60-70% of that is EQ, and rest is like EQ covers your discipline part. Uh, but then about how much money do you have, how much money can you spare, those kind of things come in. IQ has a very, very little role in it. So the company I was working in, Future First, which does oil trading, like I could see people from IIMs, IITs, and even people from Delhi University. And to be very, very frank, there were times where people from from this Delhi University were doing much, much better than people from IIMs. I'm talking IIM Ahmedabad and stuff. And people from these universities had to leave because they were making continuous losses. So it is never, never, never about if you think, oh, that person is from IIM, he has done from Stanford or some other places. I, I don't believe in it. I think any person, and he, that person may not be even educated, right? It's not about how much how much studies you have done, how much information you have gathered. All about how disciplined you are. It's all about uh, your habits. It's about how much money and how do you manage your money, right?
I mean, that's a very good example. I guess, I mean, if that would have been the case, right, all the IIMs and IITs people would have been great traders and all of them would be here on Twitter, I guess. But that's not the case. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's so that is I'm saying 67, but also uh, again, but you will see a lot of people, right, coming from IIT and and doing this. Now, the only reason I feel is that they have access to certain information, they have access to certain books, access to like they live in a ecosystem uh, which is meant for trading, and that's why probably some of them would succeed. Any common person, yeah,
Yeah, and probably I think because of their I mean the IIT and the IIM tag as well, right? I mean they won't be having any issues with the capital as well. So for example, even if they try doing trading for a while and then they face losses, for example, but their job or the IIM tag or the IIT tag would actually make up for that because anyways they would get a job, right? That's their ideology, I guess.
yeah, that always helps.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's like if you talk to 20 people and 20 people are doing the same thing, I'm sure you will get some ideas, you will get some training, and also I feel training can be learned, right? It's not something. So as I gave an example of person who was making continuous losses, but he gave his time, he gave his energy, he understood what's wrong, what is he doing wrong, and how can he improve things. So, so I believe it can be learned as well. And consider your example, honest trader. Like I know we both were in North America, and it was the day where Yes Bank fell 30 odd percent, right? If I'm not wrong.
I can't forget that day, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people talk about losing in Yes Bank in their cash portfolio, but I think I was the one where I lost the derivatives, and that was the day. Like, I think the earth came down on me. And but I think I recovered from that, and I think way past that, and the portfolio is shining in green now. I mean, it was a matter of that day, and then that's when I learned the hard lesson to actually have risk management in my portfolio every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so inverted Jacob, I don't know how we can get you into a speaking mode, um, and if Hindi or English is better for you.
I think I've sent you the speaker invite to Jacob. I'm not sure if you've got the notification or not, but let me do it again. In case you have any queries, I mean any doubts, any queries, maybe you can
No,
shoot at
anything we
us.
want to discuss, we are discussing things there, right? So,
Yeah.
and I'm sure I would really love to hear what inverted Jacob does, and we can all learn from him as well.
Definitely.
So if you're taking it from the phone, I think a notification on top of Twitter will come to you, and I think if you click on that, you will be joining as co-host.
Yeah, and probably, I mean, you won't be able to speak in case you are joining via your web from your computer or laptop. Probably will give it a while for him to.
You can DM me if you are facing any issue.
And in the meanwhile, I mean, let me post it on Twitter as well in case people see it and they want to join impromptu, probably.
Yeah, I was expecting more people considering the messages I was getting, but I think many people want it to be like, and I was getting some messages where they just want me to sit with them, show them how, and do some trading sitting with them. Like, I don't think I will ever do that. I mean, if there are queries, if there are um, if there are things to discuss, we can discuss it. But it's not like that's not scalable, right? And I may sit with that person, and maybe I'll make a loss, right? What then? So it's not about one trade, two trade, 10 trades, right? It's about learning the process. It's about learning what do you do, right? Rather than like someone holding your fingers and making you cross the bridge. So it's yeah. That's why we actually did this, but looks like people want a shortcut. Uh, okay, so I think Saptrishi. So his name is Saptrishi. So he can he can. Do, so honest trader, he wants you to resend it.
Okay, where is that?
Resend the co-host request again.
Uh, to Saptrishi?
Yeah, the inverted J curve.
Okay, yeah.
So, like Saptrishi, I know you have your name here, but you must be wondering why don't we disclose our names? So, so one point is we have a very so we are not full time traders, okay, and we have an ecosystem around us, and we are working for MNC right now, and at a senior position. So we don't want it to be. It's not something which is a rule we are breaking, but it's just that we don't want people inside the company to be aware about this, and that's it. Like that's why we don't have anyone from our company or anyone on this. The honest trader and myself, like we are friends, and we have built a structure. we have around 10 to 15 accounts right now, and we share our infrastructure. But yeah, anyone. So so these are all friends and family who uses the infrastructure.
And probably inverted Jacob. I mean, you won't be able to speak if you are connected via laptop. I think you need to be on your phone. I just got a message from inverted Jacob, and he said that he's joined from the phone. I'm not sure he's able to listen us or not.
Okay,
And DestinedMusk. I mean, Saptarishi is inverted Jacob. Is that right?
that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Probably I've asked him to join via phone.
Okay. So he is not through phone.
I think he messaged me and he said that he's via laptop.
Oh, okay. So maybe I'll just quickly say a few things I had on mind, right? So when you pick up any change, like anything, you may have a 50-50 chance. If you don't have a 50-50 chance on doing anything, then you shouldn't do it anyways. But let's say worst case, you have 50-50% chance of getting a profit and getting a loss. I think even that is not a bad starting point. Now, so the first step is to actually look at what are the odds, right, in any trade. And like if you take a naked trade in futures or in options, I believe you are actually your chances are less than 50%. Even if you have no idea, let's say I give you XYZ company and I tell you, okay, this is the company, I've heard it for the first time, this is the price, you have no idea it is going to go up or go down. Um, so what are your odds? So someone will say, because I don't know anything, so my odds would be 50-50, right? It can go down or it can go up. But what I would say is actually it's not that case. It's your odds are worse because you are fighting against people who know information about that company. You're fighting against people who have far less latency than yourself. You will have you are you are not a full time. You are not sitting in a company and doing this researching on this particular company. So the odds for you to actually make money on this are less than 50%, right? So even to go to a 50-50 chance, I believe uh, it's difficult. But once you, let's say, you have your um, own mechanism, you have your own way of finding out either through charts. Though I think charts are overrated, but still, I would, because that's one of the important things people talk about. Um, so you can go through charts, you can go through some analysis, you can look at some parameters around that company, and then you come to a point where you say, I'm 50-50 on this right now, worst case, right? Now, even if you're 50-50, I think you can go into that trade. Now, you can go into that trade. Now, there can be three possibilities, right? The trade goes in your favor, so you don't do anything. You just sit and take your profit. But and I'm not talking about buying something naked, I'm talking about a strategy. And mostly we do option strategies. So, so with that 50-50 option, you actually get uh, you create a strategy for yourself, and then you go into that trade. If the trade is not going in your favor, let's say by and you have your again, the stop loss is one thing, but even before the stop loss, there are many stages where you have to reconsider your position. And for example, you may think, oh, my stop loss is probably, let's say, 5% of my capital, uh, or whatever I have invested in that particular trade. But I go down by 3%, right? Or market moves, or that, that position moves against you by 3% or 2% or 4%, right? So 5% is your stop loss, but let's say it goes down by 1%. What do you do then? It goes down by 2%. What do you do then? 3%. What do you do then? Right? So it's always you already have it planned. You already have it considered that if it is going in this direction, what would be my reaction to it? And that's where automation really helps. Or you can define your rules, you can consider, and you don't have to exit that position. That exiting is stop loss. But what I'm saying is there are various ways in option strategies where you can rework your existing position and still make money out of it, even if it is going against you.
And I think I mean, just to add on to this, right? Even before you go into the, as Destin must said, right? Even before you take the position, and you know, like, what all three outcomes are there. So either it stays flat, or either it goes against you. I mean, in case you are long, and or it goes in favor of you. I mean, you can pre-decide what you need to do at each point of time. So that is even before you take the trade. So that's the beauty of having the option strategies, right?
Yeah. I mean, option strategies have been created so that you can consider, it's not only considering the stock will go up or down, right? You are considering stock will go up by what? And let's say you have a stock at 100, it's going, it's probably going to go down, but worst case, it will not go above 105. So that kind of strategies, it's not only about going down, but it should not go above 105. That is, options will give you a way to even trade that. Options can give you a way to trade. Oh, it can go up, but I can restrict my premium and I can sell a far option to actually reduce the premium I'm giving for it. You can, like, say, buy a premium for 105 or $100 stock or 100 rupees stock, and then you sell an option of 110 or 115, considering your appetite. Right? Now, so that is where the fun of options come in. People, and most of the people I listen to, I hear about, they think option as a lottery ticket. Okay, it goes it goes 10 times or it goes to zero, right? And that is the real cause of people making so much of loss.
That is, I think, that is pure gambling, right? I mean, even before you are
Right.
actually taking a hero or zero call, right? Whether I just want it to go 10x or let it go to zero. I mean, and that's not scalable as well.
Yeah, that's right. So so basically, I think that is what is the advantage of options. There are many other advantages, of course, right? It gives you a huge leverage, and like, the other point I wanted to discuss is we are not here to pay our bills for, and we are not investing our time, we are not investing our energy just to pay our bills, right? We are here to invest so that we become multimillionaires, right? And that is our fundamental philosophy. We don't want to gain, like, we don't want to double our capital in 5 years or make 10 times our capital in 10 years. We want to do much better than that. And you can only do that when you are leveraged. If you are not leveraged, you will never ever able to do that. Or you are in cryptocurrency, unfortunately. You can that will be again pure gamble. But um, so so then what is the option for us, right? Uh, we can't, like, I will never ever do a futures trade. Um, so options provide us that guarantee that you can have some kind of strategy for yourself. You can have some view of the stock, some view of the market, which only gives you a 50% chance of winning, and you can still make that trade meaningful. You can still make that trade advantageous for yourself.
But I think that's the real problem. I think you brought up a good point. I think that's the real problem with people, right? They think short term, and they don't think the long term prospect of what they can achieve with options trading. doing a 2x or 3x. I mean, that's good. But I think if you think big, right, that you want to completely change your lifestyle, I think that can be done as well via options trading. And I think we have few examples, right, who have been doing this, and their lifestyle has completely changed from trading.
Correct. Yeah. So it's very important. What do you want from it, right? From your, and you're putting effort, right? We are putting effort. Everyone is putting effort. But what do you want to get out of it? That is very very important. And if you just want to pay your bills, if you want to say, oh, let me get 10 lakhs a year kind of thing, yeah, you can get it, but that's not what you should be aiming for. The other big problem is when people want to recover their losses. And that is what I hear a lot when I meet people personally. They have done losses, and now the only thing in their mind is, how do I recover my losses and get into green? Now, like it's a cliche that market never knows what your price is. Are you in loss or are you in profit? So, so why you- why should you be guided by that you have made loss or you have made profit? Right? So I think if 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 we can't understand that uh, market is something which works in on its own dynamics, uh, then we'll never be able to make profits out of it. Right? Yeah, Falco is good.
Right. Thanks, Destiny. I think I got a message from United Jacob. He's left. I think he has got some network issues, and
Okay.
yeah, probably. I think let's do it again. Let's get more traction, and in case, I mean, people don't join, right? But I mean, for this one, as I mean, this one was recorded, and probably people can go back to this and listen to whatever we discussed. And again, in case we get any more queries, and we get good attendance, probably surety of people attending, probably we can do it again. Otherwise, I mean, there's no point of.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's right.
uh, but I think Inverted Jacob did send me a message that he did appreciate like whatever we did, and he was able to gain from our discussion. So probably until next
Yeah,
time.
I think maybe, yeah, put some maybe put a thread
Mhm.
saying what you're doing, and uh, yeah, something of that sort. And maybe you have this recording, right? And that can be pasted across,
Right, and I
right?
think my DMs were off, and I just enabled those. Then only I got the messages from Inverted Jacob.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay, I think
DMs.
we have a request from Jacob to speak. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
yeah. Okay, let's wait. I think I did approve his request, but now it's gone.
Mm, okay. So, honest, like you think you'll get a recording of this?
Yeah, so I did. There was a default option where it said that do you want to record this space or not?
Okay.
So probably we'll get a recording of this and probably we'll pin this to our profile and just refer to people who wanted to join.
Yeah, no problem.
Sure. Okay. Thanks, DestinedMusk, for joining over a Saturday evening, and that too with the MI and CSK match going on.
Yeah, it's on my TV right now.
Yeah. And just before you go, I mean, just people, I mean, for the last, I'm not sure if people would stick to the last right in the recording. Just for people's knowledge, like how much funds are we managing right now, and how much are we probably, I mean, in a yearly CAGR that we have returned. I mean, just for that, for their knowledge, and how consistently have we been doing this?
Right.
Yeah.
So, so we have been doing this for quite a while, and I believe uh, last year we did around 85%, if I'm not wrong, of our capital.
Wow.
85% growth in our capital. Uh, and now, and that capital base is not small, right? I
Mhm.
can just tell you that.
Right.
Uh, though we have divided our capital into, like I'm talking about the whole capital which is managed by wealth compounders. Uh, so there are various accounts, but our largest account is like the biggest account will be 1.5 crores, and the smallest account is around 5 to 7 lakhs, if I'm not wrong. Um, so So basically, it covers the both sides. We have a small account as well, and we have a large account as well. The trades which are done are are different for different accounts, right? Now, you someone can come in and say, "Oh, I want the same trades as 1.5 CR account." You can't have that
Mhm.
because uh, the amount of loss you can make on 1 CR will be much higher. The risk factor and risk versus reward is always matching. Now, if you want more risk, you will get more reward, but you will lose more as well. So with higher accounts, we take smaller risk, and that is inbuilt in our algorithm where we can provide how much is how much loss we are ready to take, and if like based on that, and how much gain are we expecting for this month. So we just feed it to that, and we only get like our results are filtered in saying if you only want this much, right? If you just want 1% um, per month, like I can give you very very safe strategy, right? If you want 5%, probably I can give you some, but if you want 10%, we have to be very very careful, right?
Correct.
So it all depends on what is your expectation out of your money. You can grow it by 1%, 5%, 10%. Um, yeah, I think if you go beyond 10, I've seldom seen people making 20% on regular basis, and they take a lot of it. So it all depends on your risk appetite for it.
And I think people need to, I mean, make it very clear, right? They should have the compounding numbers in front of them, and what is the expectation from them, right? Whether you are doing a 5% per month CAGR, like how much that would turn out to be, and if you want a 10% or 2%, I mean, whatever is your risk appetite, right? That depends on you.
And that is the main factor which where people lose out, right? Because
Correct.
they think it too short term. They think, oh, if I get 3% in this month, how will it help me? And I have put 5 lakhs, for example. 3% of 5 lakhs is 15,000. Is it going to help me? Is it something where I should spend my time on? But what people don't understand is if I do 3%, or to be exact, 2.5 something percent every month, I'll be making 10 times of my money in 10 years, right? Uh,
Absolutely.
so, which is a very 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 good thing. Uh, so that's what people don't see. People see I just get 15,000, but if you are making it as a habit and doing it every month, it will turn your life around.
Yeah, I think I remember a quote from you, right? You actually told me around 2 or 3 years, or probably more than that, right? People should actually focus on the process and let the money be the byproduct of that. And the process should actually define like how much you want to risk and how much you want to lose, probably, or reward yourself, right? So that's the main key
Yeah.
that people should follow.
Yeah, that's right. I think there can be so many different processes, and for
Correct.
every person, it will be a different process.
Correct.
It's just that what works for you doesn't work for me. What works for me doesn't work for you. So
Mhm.
you have to define your own process and your risk, your investment amount, sorry, your expectations out of it. That all goes into defining the process.
Correct.
But once you define your process, then you sit tight, right? And
Mhm.
you see, like, are your strategies according to the process? Are they giving you what you want to get out of it?
Correct.
And if you are not getting it, you have to tweak your process. And if you are
Correct.
making continuing losses, that means your process is not working. So
Correct.
that realization has to come very very fast.
Mhm. So another query that I had was probably, I mean, once you get a process right and you see like, no, I've been consistently making profits. I mean, do we actually need to tweak it to enhance more profits, or just sit tight and this is meeting my expectation, and let's just reiterate this, right? Let's do it over and over again. So I mean, you'll get months where the markets would be volatile. You'll get months where the market would be low on VIX and it would be quite
Yeah.
stable, and this process actually repeats, right? So 1 year, probably 2 months in an year, you'll find the market is very volatile, and then rest of the months it's not that volatile, and probably this repeats year on year, right? And that's when you actually just stick to the process and just let it work. Is that right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Right. I mean, the market keeps on changing,
Hmm.
right? So you cannot have one process. It's like you have to see is your process working for this, like, and what is the feedback, right? So
Hmm.
feedback mechanism would be, you have your process, what do you get in return? Are your the way, and your parameter should not be only just profit and loss. Your parameter is, how are your positions moving? How is the market moving? For example, you may have, like, for example, one of the strategies can be that I will try to trade in uh, scripts which are directly proportional to movement in Nifty,
Hmm.
right? And I will match them. And let's say that stocks move out of that zone, and those stocks now are not going proportional to the Nifty, and they are giving either in the other direction, or it is giving in the same direction but many folds. So, is your strategy going to change? Of course, it has to change, right? Now, whenever we get complacent, we will lose money. That is for sure. If you think I have made my process and I'll go to sleep and nothing else is going to happen to it, and I'll keep minting money, that's not happening, right? You need to do it every day. You need to analyze. And that's what we discuss many a times on this. We say we have to review our positions daily, review our positions weekly, review our positions monthly, and how they are doing, and not only the final outcome of, did they, for example, you can say, oh, this particular trade gave me 5% return or 10% return. That is not the point. It may have given you some percentage of return, but how was the return? Did it go down by 10% and
Yeah.
came up by 15% to give you 5% return? Or did it steadily increase and give you 5% return? Or did it go up and then came down? So next time when you want to look at it, you will enhance your procedure and say, oh, should I have exited much before because it went up, and I should have exited and made more profit? Or if did it go down enough, and was it a fluke that it came back up?
Yeah.
So, and because I did not put sufficient stop losses, it was a fluke that I made money into this. So there
Correct.
can be so many trades which are fluke trades, and unfortunately, we count them as our successes. I would still, even if that is giving me money, I would count it as a failure for me because it did not go through my process.
Correct. Yeah. And I think people actually, I mean, wait for it to revert to their, I mean, the MTM to swing towards their side. But I just, I mean, I know people who, I mean, the MTM never swings, and it actually goes beyond their stop loss, and then they keep shifting the stop loss, and then they face major loss than what they would have faced earlier.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem, right? So
Yeah.
many people lose money in this, and we have seen it, honest trader, with our friend. And
Correct.
again, I want to reiterate, that is the reason we are here,
Mhm.
right? That is the reason we want to help people. And it is not because of some charity or something. It is just that it really pains us when there are a lot of people around and they are losing their life savings off for this.
Correct.
And the mental issues which with our friend went through, I think it really made us. And when we turned it around, I think that was the point where we said that, okay, why don't we help other people as well? So it
Correct.
is for us, right? It is not something we are doing for you guys. We want to help you guys so that we help ourselves, and that is our motto behind this.
And I think we do have real examples, right? The people DMing you and asking for help, right, on this.
Yeah, that is true. And unfortunately, many people need a very quick solution. And unfortunately, that's not the case. If it was this simple, everyone would be making money, right?
Yeah, and which is
But
actually
nobody.
otherwise, right? Only 90, whatever the SEBI report came in, right? Around 90% actually lose, and only the 10% are the ones who are who are able to, but from those as well, only people. I think the average profit was just 1 lakh. So yeah,
Yeah,
probably only the top 1% are actually minting, and the rest are probably just
exactly. And the reason is they have defined their processes. It's not that they are smarter. It's just
correct,
that they have defined their processes. They are very clear about what they are doing.
right.
Right?
And I think
Nothing.
with the process, right? I think you get that EQ as well, right? That you said. So once you have your process defined, you know what you need to do in case market moves here. In case, I mean, no, I mean, anywhere the market moves, right? You have a solution to that, and that's where the EQ also helps, right? You don't get. I mean, you don't get panicky. You don't take hasty decisions in that case.
Oh yeah, I mean, because you get disassociated with it, right?
Yeah,
You have your processes defined, and you know what will be done when, for example, you sleep in the night, and if you're watching, and we discussed it a few times, that if you're watching the Dow Jones or Nasdaq throughout the night and sleeping only at 2:30 a.m.,
yeah,
then it's not worth it, right?
correct,
That means you don't have your processes defined. That what will you do if Nasdaq is down 600 points? Or
correct,
sorry, Dow Jones is down 600 points, right? Um, so, so that means you have not thought through it. And if you have not thought through it, then you'll always be in a panicky mode. You'll always be in a mode where uh, you don't know what you will be doing when something bad happens.
correct.
So what I'm saying is I'm not an expert. I'm not saying that I have everything figured out, everything sorted. I'm just saying that these are the real problems we should address. And our goal, everyone's goal is to make money. But what is the means? Means is actually to figure out the process, and then you make money. People go directly to the money part, and they play it as a gamble.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what people need to understand. It's not gambling. I mean, gambling doesn't scale and doesn't last too long, right? It can give you momentarily the rush, right? And probably it would be short lived.
Oh yeah. I mean, I gamble as well, right? You know that. I
Yeah.
play Dream 11 every time. So,
Yeah.
but that's just for fun, right? So
Yeah.
we have to see what are we doing for fun, what are we doing uh, for our living, and what we are doing it for, like our future. So it has to be very, very clear. You Gambling is not bad. Sorry to say that, but it's not bad. But if you are doing it with your life saving, it's terrible. If you are doing it with something, you can lose, and you're gaining. What I'm gaining out of gamble is enjoyment, right? And
Correct.
we all go to movies and spend 250, 300, $500 on watching a movie, right? So we enjoy and we do it. Similarly, I gamble and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that is the money I'm paying and I'm willing to sacrifice for my enjoyment.
Correct. Yeah. 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 Probably time to buy Delta Cop stock, right? Go to Goa and probably spend some money on gambling. Okay, I
Yeah,
think this was a very good conversation, Destin Musk, from you, and probably, I mean, let's see if we can reach out to more people and just share this recording with others, and let's see like where we go from here.
yeah, no problem. Yeah,
All
thank you
right,
so
have a
much.
good Saturday
Bye bye.
evening. Yeah,
Yeah,
bye. Take care.
bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.